So I want to talk a little bit about my plans, both my personal plans and how they affect my work in India, and how they might affect other people too. It's of course well known that I've been coming to India twice a year for many years, and I hope that I will be able to continue doing that, but I'm in my 72nd year and I can't expect that to go on indefinitely. I don't know how long it is going to be possible for me to continue to come to India from a health point of view and energy point of view. I hope it will be until the day I die, but let's see. And of course I need to think very carefully about how I use my remaining time. And what I've been gradually doing over the last 2 or 3 years is withdrawing from all organizational responsibility, and I've retired from the Public Preceptors College, and I'm no longer a member of the Indian Cooler of the Public Preceptors College. I no longer do ordinations in India, and I no longer need to do that because there are people quite capable of doing it from India. Every time I come, I've been leading quite a lot of retreats, and I'm sure those are very useful. But I feel I need to do something different and do it in a different context, in a different way. So I'm planning this year not to come in the monsoon period. I'm not coming because I'm going to do a 6-month solitary retreat at my place in Wales. What I want to do during that period is to deepen my own practice of meditation and my own study and reflection on the Dhamma. And especially what I want to do is prepare to help other people to deepen their practice of meditation and their study when I come back to India, probably in December. So I'm definitely taking this period for deeper practice of the Dhamma, especially through meditation and reflection and study, with contributing something further in India in mind. We'll have to see how it goes. And what I want to do when I come back is not just one retreat after another for different sets of people, good as that is. It's not necessary anymore. There are other people who are capable of doing that, and my own energy is getting less, so I need to be careful not to overextend myself. So what I'm hoping to do is have a longer period with a smaller number of people, maybe for 3 months, with a group of order members and mitras who are serious about preparing for ordination, both men and women, to do intensive practice of the Dhamma, especially intensive practice of what are called the Mula Yogas, which are preparatory practices including prostration practice, development of bodhicitta, purification in various ways, all preparatory to deeper meditation practice. So I'm hoping that there will be a group of people who want to practice in that way with me and who are prepared to commit themselves up until we meet again to a certain regime of practice, who will do intensive practice during that time, so that when we come together again we can take off from there. It won't be just a new start. And I don't know where we're going to do that. It's not going to be in an ordinary retreat-like situation with people coming and going. I want people to be living together for a period of time, meditating, studying, some maybe a bit more solitary, some more in a communal setting. What I'd really like is to do this in a remote, natural setting, somewhere beautiful, maybe somewhere with a bit of a Buddhist connection. Anywhere in India, doesn't matter, as long as it's beautiful, as long as it's remote, as long as it's natural, and if possible with a Buddhist connection. And where we can live a simple life, not with elaborate buildings and big shrine halls and so forth, a very simple life. And focus especially on meditation and on study, the study that supports meditation. So we're hoping, a few of us, to set up what we call an Aroma, which is a word meaning a pleasure park or a relaxation place, but it's used in early Buddhism for what we would now call a monastery. So places like the Jetavana, the Veluvana, were aromas, usually pleasure parks given by kings or wealthy people as places for the Sangha to meet. So I'm hoping to set up that sort of situation, not a sort of formal monastery in the more traditional way of thinking of it, but a quite loose framework. To begin with, I would be guiding what was happening there until I can hand that over to others. And I'm hoping that we can set this up permanently somewhere. We'd like a large piece of land, maybe 100 acres, 200 acres, very remote, beautiful, and the simple huts, simple shrine hall where we can meet and study and practice the Dhamma. So I see this as being the next phase of my life. Perhaps it's a sort of phase that I can continue until I die, and I would come and go from Britain, same sort of routine, maybe 6 months here, 6 months in Britain, whether in 3-month bits or not, I don't know, we can see. But I'm hoping that this will be my focus from this time onwards. So I'm wanting to work especially with those who are willing and able and dedicated to deeper meditation practice and deeper study of the Dhamma. I see this as a contribution to the larger Buddhist movement in India, this wonderful movement begun by Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, which affects the lives of millions of people and in the years to come will affect millions more. It's a very important movement which is helping to change Indian society for the better, and which works at a very simple level, a very basic level. But for that movement to really continue effectively, there need to be some people going much deeper. There needs to be a considerable depth of practice of the Dhamma, of understanding of the Dhamma, of experience of the Dhamma, that then can filter out to more and more people and be a support for them, an encouragement for them. The Dhamma is very, very broad. I think this is Babasaheb's great contribution to show how the Dhamma can be broad enough to touch the simplest and poorest and most marginalized of people and help them to lift themselves up. But it can only do that so long as there's really great depth and there are a significant number of people touching those depths. And then they need to be in dynamic interaction with the breadth. The breadth and the depth need to be working together. One will help the other. If you don't have depth, then breadth becomes more and more thin, and there's less and less significance to it. If you have depth without breadth, well, eventually it dies out. People just disappear, and it doesn't affect society. It doesn't benefit the wider social world. So I see this as a contribution to this larger movement. I also see it as a very important contribution to continuing the Triratna Buddhist order and community worldwide. And I'm hoping that people from the Triratna Buddhist community worldwide will come to the Aroma that we set up. I see this as a way in which we can continue the extraordinary power and depth that Urgyen Sangharakshita, our great teacher, gave to us. He himself for many, many years functioned on the basis of that transcendent Dhammic inspiration, and he's gone. So we have to keep that going through our own practice and understanding of the Dhamma. So I see that I should be able to, in my last years, contribute to this being established, and hopefully by the time I'm not able to do very much, it will continue without me, and I'm quite confident of that. There are quite a number of people in India with considerable depth, and I think if they have a better opportunity, then that will really help them. I also see this as an opportunity to provide more of a chance for those who do not wish to live a household life. At the moment in India, it's very difficult to remain single. It's very difficult to remain free from domestic and other responsibilities. And it's important that people who do live in that sort of way are able to live the Dhamma life fully, and they can. They can realize the highest attainments even in that situation. But many don't want to live like that, or some don't want to live like that. They want to live a more monastic life, if you like. So I want to support that for those who want to live in that way. And then I want them to be in dynamic interaction with those who do live in a domestic situation, so that when they are free, they can spend time in the more intensive environment, away from their families, and maybe one day they can move there permanently. People can start off living in that situation, and then if they want to marry, they can go from there and do so, so that it's a contribution to broadening the scope of Buddhism in India. So there's a larger range of possibilities, and I think that will help everybody. So I really hope that this will get off the ground. I certainly intend to do something along these lines when I come back in December, whether in a permanent setting or maybe a temporary one, and I'm hoping that some people will want to join me there. And some of my friends will be working on this while I'm in solitary retreat and preparing themselves, and they will be making themselves known so that anybody who wants to contribute in any way, anybody's got any land that they want to give, preferably outside Maharashtra, so that we shift the center of our gravity outside Maharashtra more and more, and somewhere really beautiful, remote, peaceful, with, if possible, some Buddhist connection, and where we can live very simply. So I hope that some people will respond to this, and I hope that everybody will understand what I'm trying to do, and that I'm not at all withdrawing from the movement in India. I'm trying to contribute something that I personally feel I can, and that suits my own needs at this stage in my life. I'm needing to think about death. I'm needing to think about the end of my life, and I want to sort of draw in and go deeper so that I'm ready when the time comes, whenever that happens to be.